guys, it's number 3 of our teams of the Premier League, our little warm-up to the new season, and we've got Bournemouth for you today. Again, not a team that I know an awful lot about, with them never being in the Premier League. They've never really been of any interest to me until right now, because they're in the Premier League for the first time, and I really hope that they do well. But from doing a bit of research, I think the starting lineup they're going to go with, although they've brought in Federici, Boruk has got more Premier League experience. He was an emergency loan at the back end of last season, I believe, so I reckon he's going to be the number one. They have to play Tyrone Mings. They bought him for £8 million. You can't splash that sort of money when you're a team like Bournemouth coming up to the Premier League and then not play the guy. So I've put him straight into the starting lineup. I put Distan straight in. I'm assuming that he has come in for his Premier League experience on a free transfer from Everton. You've got the captain Elfik, who's just going to continue doing what he was doing at the back end last season. Then you got the right back Francis. I haven't seen anything about them going in for another right back, so I mean, surely he's just going to carry on from last season. I know they've bought in another right mid, but I'll get onto that in a sec. But I've kept Richie there. I know he was really important for them at the back end of last season and a really good player, as is Arthur. So I think those two are going to be safe. We've got Sermon, who I do know a little bit about because he played for Norwich. He's actually a really good player. I'm surprised that Norwich sold him, but fair dues. And then you've got in on loan from Chelsea, Christian Atsu, the pace monster. I can't really see why you wouldn't play him having brought him in on loan, but they might go for obviously Junior Stanislas or one of the other left mids. Pugh, I think, is the other one who helped them get promotion. But you got your two strikers, you've got Wilson and you've got Comorgant. So that is the starting 11 that I would think they'd put in, but maybe they're going to sort of bring Mings in slowly, or maybe they'll not play Distan as often because he's getting on a bit, let's be fair. But on the bench I've got Federici because that just makes sense, Elliot Ward because he was mostly on the bench last season, you've got Junior Stanislas, McDonald, Pugh, Dan Gosling, who again has Premier League experience, so maybe he'll come into the starting lineup. And then you've got your new signing Joshua King, who is again pacey as hell, I believe, and I've seen him a bit with Blackburn, and I think that's going to be a good signing for them. But we will see how that sort of translates, see where upgrades can occur, and I'll move on from that to now. So on to the upgrades for FIFA 16. Well, there's really no surprise here. With the season you guys had in the Championship last season, I've gone for Callum Wilson and Richie. Wilson, 50 appearances, 23 goals, 13 assists. As a striker is pretty damn amazing. I'm going to say even in the Championship, because they're now at Premier League level. But he's also been touted to maybe be going to Villa as a Benteke replacement, so that's interesting. I think you guys are going to want to hold on to him really though. So I have upped him to a 68 due to his exploits last season. And Richie from the right mid, apparently, is where he plays. 51 appearances, 15 goals and 18 assists. That is pretty much as good as you're going to get across the board here. So I have zonked him straight up to a 73. Now, you may agree with that, you may not agree with that, but he's had a fantastic season. He's put himself a bit on the map, so I have obviously upgraded him accordingly. But now let's go quickly onto your downgrades. And I do seem to be picking on these new players, but I guess you've only got him on loan, so you've not actually gone out and permanently signed him. But I'm obviously talking about Atsu, not Stanislas. But I'll start with Stanislas. 20 appearances last season, 2 goals, 3 assists. It's just not as good as your other midfielders, essentially. You have Arthur, you had Matt Ritchie. Those two are kind of, I was going to do one or the other. Even Pugh, he got a lot of goals and assists. Stanislas is just lagging behind them at the moment, so I've downgraded him to a 65. Christian Atsu, obviously at Everton on loan last season. Look at that, 13 appearances, no goals, 2 assists, pretty poor, and that's why I've taken him down to a 73, and obviously that's going to make him a silver card on foot, but these are just representations. This is for career mode, so he's not had the greatest season considering his pace and his talent, so hopefully he can do a bit better in a Bournemouth team. but let's have a look where you need to strengthen. Well, I've been doing a bit of a scouring mission, and right wing is apparently where you guys are really looking to bring somebody in, and you've got Max Gradle on the left, used to play for Leeds, currently at Saint Etienne. He last season got 17 goals and 7 assists in a total of 31 games for the French side, so that is not bad at all. Gareth McCleary, on the other hand, he's 28. He plays for Reading, previously for Nottingham Forest, of course. He's only ever moved in free transfer moves, which is a bit unusual for a player, but he was quintessential to their semi-final run with 2 goals and an assist. So both of these are really good for you two. I'd probably go for McCleary personally because he's been in the league and he knows the Championship and a bit of the Premier League, I think, with one of his teams. So he's done really, really well, but I'd be going over McCleary over Gradle personally if I was Bournemouth. And finally, striker is the other position that you have been looking in. Everybody remembers they were in for Berbatov right at the start of the summer. That one still hasn't gone away. He's still available as a free agent. You've got Glenn Murray and Charlie Austin as well. Charlie Austin, obviously everyone knows about this guy. 18 goals and 7 assists last season while QPR went down. He's only 26, he's coming into his prime. The only problem Bournemouth are going to have is there's so many clubs looking at this guy. Villa want him if Benteke leaves, which is what is currently happening. He's having a medical at Liverpool. And Newcastle have been touted as well, but they're about to get Mitrovic, so I'm not sure. But if you manage to get in Bournemouth, he's a really, really good striker. The other striker is Glenn Murray. He's 31. He's playing for Crystal Palace currently. Last season he was loaned to Reading and he scored 8 goals for them. Came back to Crystal Palace in the final 6 months, I think it was, and got 7 for them as they stayed up with 3 assists as well. So he's got really good Premier League experience, same as, well, all 3 of them really, because obviously Berbatov, he is 34. He was at Monaco last season, but before then you got Spurs, Man United, Fulham, all played for all of those in England in the Premier League, so he really knows about this league as well. 9 goals in all competitions last season, including sadly one against Arsenal in the not the semi-final, the round of 16, which Arsenal eventually went out to. But yes, all good options, all good Premier League experience. If you're going to stay up, you're going to need goals, and really each of these 3 would be getting those, but I'd be going for Charlie Austin if that's a possibility, because the guy is just a goal-scoring beast, which he showed in a poor team last season. And just a final thank you to Fabian Delph for making me look like a complete idiot in my last video. Me saying how glad Villa fans are to be keeping him, this, that and the other, and then he goes and signs for City after saying he wasn't going to. Annoying for me in my video, more annoying for the Villa fans, I am sure. So I would just like to show Fabian Delph what he's going to be seeing from Man City for next season. Yep, that's the bench that you'll be sitting on, my friend, and I would like to finally just put the stamp of approval that you are a dick. So enjoy your time at Man City, enjoy your money, don't enjoy your football because you're not really going to get any. But on that note, if you're enjoying this series, guys, I urge you to like and subscribe to me. I'm going to carry it on, try and get Chelsea out as soon as possible, the champions. Really hard to look at the teams in and around Arsenal in a neutral light, but I'm really trying my best. But that'll be coming out soon. I hope you guys are enjoying the series, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.